Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is the Fighting Age Male Society. I'm going to tell you all about what to do when you go to jail. Let's get into it. In jail, time is your enemy if you allow it to be. Andrew Tate talks about doing 1,000 push-ups a day, something I can relate to having been in a cell myself. However, I did 500 and I know it sounds like a lot, but if you span it out throughout the entirety of the day, it's actually not that much. When you're locked up with no distractions, it's easy for your mind to spiral. The isolation can make every minute feel like an hour, every hour like a day, and every day like a week. You start asking questions, big questions, about who you are, what you've done, and where you're going. It's the mental battleground, essentially, where so many men lose. In the following clips, Andrew talks about doing his push-ups and battling depression. Let's take a quick look at that to get a better idea of what to expect.
And 8 days after that, you got arrested. You in jail, what was that like?
I think the most stressful thing about it is I had no idea how long I was going to be in there for. I was dragged from my house. I was given papers in Romanian. I didn't know why I was there. I found out why I was there and it was garbage. I couldn't seem to get out. I could have been held for years. It's very stressful. And the best thing you can do is turn to God and train as hard as possible. I did thousands of push-ups a day every single day.
Were you in solitary in this period, 3 months?
No, I wasn't in solitary the entire time. Sometimes I was by myself, sometimes I was with other guys, and sometimes I was with my brother. So,
when you were on your own, were they keeping you in there for 24 hours a day? Were you allowed out?
No, I wasn't allowed out. There was no yard time. It was 24 hours a day, locked in a single room, probably 3 or 4 steps large, and you do nothing but stare at the wall. And
How many days did you do that for, on your own?
11, 12.
I mean, that's a pretty grim scenario for anyone.
Life's grim.
For you, always being Mr. Confident, you've said, interestingly, that you wouldn't categorize what you were feeling as depression because you don't believe in the concept of depression. You and I have argued about that before. But it sounds to me, from what I've seen you say when you've talked about this, that was pretty close to depression, what you were feeling. But when you're on your own in that cell, what were you thinking? It's a long time to self-reflect, right?
It certainly is. And I think my number one concern when I was in jail, despite the fact that my situation was dire, were my concerns as a man and all the people I have to take care of, and my children and my family and the people I pay for and all the people who work for me. And truthfully, I wasn't worried about myself. I was worried about everybody else.
Did you shed tears in your cell?
I'm an emotional man. I think men are hyper emotional. We just have to control it. I was extremely busy inside of my jail cell. I had lots of push-ups to do. I was very concerned about the people on the outside. I was trying my best to get out. I knew that God was watching and I had to perform.
It would be perfectly natural to be emotional in that scenario, and there's no shame in admitting that.
I was emotional. I missed people. I missed them, and I knew they missed me. So I felt a strong sense of missing.
But you cried.
There were tears that ran down my face, but I did not cry.
I mean, that's crying.
I would disagree.
Because you're worried about admitting that. You think it sounds
Absolutely
weak.
not. That's a perfectly fine scenario to cry in, but I think the act of crying is an act of desperation. To sit and to cry is an act in and of itself. To do push-ups, thinking of your children with tears running down your face, but you're concerned with finishing as many push-ups as possible within that day, I do not consider that crying. I consider that tears running down my face.
Tate talks about fighting depression by pushing his body to its limits, and that's the key here. It's not just about physical act of doing 1,000 push-ups a day. It's the mental discipline behind it. When you're in jail, you're stripped of control. Your freedom's gone, your routine's gone, and all you're left with is just yourself in a cell. Push-ups, they're not just about fitness. They're about reclaiming control over the one thing absolutely no one can take from you, which is your body and your mind. Now, I remember being in county jail, waking up every day to the same cold walls and realizing that if I didn't own my time, it would own me. There's a small saying in jail that says, do the time, don't let the time do you. It's not about just the push-ups. It was about setting small, achievable goals every single day. So every day I'd focus on fitness, reading, meditation, and just thinking through my next steps in life. Key is staying ahead of the void that jail creates. If you don't, that time will break you like a damn toothpick. You don't actually have to do 1,000 push-ups a day, but you do need to develop the mindset that says, No matter what the fuck happens today, I'm in control of my actions. Headspace. So whether you're in jail or facing a tough decision outside of jail, you have to leverage the time you have at hand. The first way you can start using time to your advantage is start with your body, but don't stop there. Work on your mind, strategize your future, and treat every day like a training ground for the man you want to be and not just the man you are at that moment. Tate didn't just do push-ups to stay fit. He did it so he could keep his mind and body in tune together and sharp to battle the depression that could have consumed him. That's exactly what you need to do. Whatever your version of push-ups is, make the time work for you. Don't let it break you. Now, from my experience, there are key lessons that you can take from jail that go far beyond just surviving. It's about evolving as a person. First thing I learned was from an OG back in the day who told me God doesn't want children, he wants soldiers. In there, you learn the discipline of becoming that soldier. One of the most beautiful lessons I learned is from a fellow inmate who actually taught me to work out very slow, building the muscle fibers that I have, which directly correlates with the discipline I had to give, especially when we went to yard, which had an exact standard of 113 push-ups every single time. It's about setting and maintaining that bar. Second thing I learned was communion in jail. Your survival often depends on the generosity of others as well. The inmates I rolled with gave me what I needed: shampoo, deodorant, coffee, even shoes. It's strange, but in jail where necessities lie is where brotherhood is too. On top of that, it was organization on the top tier. Things are established normally in a hierarchy where there's no beefs or fights happening without addressing the man who holds the keys to the house. And above all else, cleanliness. So long as you keep your cell clean and you clean the areas you are around constantly, there is no way you're going to get broken off or face the consequences, which is 3 guys, 13 seconds where the sheriffs can't see you. I'd have to say the number one thing that you learn in there the most as a man is respect. But at the end of the day, whether it's Tate doing 1,000 push-ups or these lessons from behind bars, it's all about discipline, respect, and using every moment to make yourself stronger, mentally and physically. Speaking of, if you'd like to make yourself mentally, physically competent, I advise you to join the Fighting Age Male Society. The link will be in any bio that you find us on social media, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Teach you everything from stoicism, combat, nutrition, and attire. You'll gain is the James Bond complex. You will be a smart, competent, and combat-ready individual who is ready to go out in society, be the exact man you're supposed to be. That's it for this video. If you guys liked, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you found anything valuable or you'd like to know more about the society, please reach out or comment below.
I just did what I was supposed to do.